Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of One Piece. The Great Swordsman appears. Pirate Hunter Roronoa Zoro is the second episode of the One Piece anime. The episode opens with Luffy and Koby aboard their boat, and Koby once again explains how Roronoa Zoro is a demon who takes down men just for the bounty. The boat then arrives at an island, where a large marine base is stationed. Luffy and Koby walk through the town, and at the mention of the names of both Roronoa Zoro and Captain Morgan, the townspeople are thrown into a panic. Luffy and Koby then arrive at the marine base, where Koby thinks it will be his goodbye, as he plans on enrolling in the Marines, but Luffy climbs over the wall and spots Zoro tied to a cross. As the two look at Zoro, a little girl named Rika climbs over the wall with a ladder. She offers some rice balls to Zoro that she made herself, putting her whole heart into it. At that moment, the snobbish Helmeppo, son of Captain Morgan, arrives with several marine soldiers. He eats one of Rika's rice balls and says it's disgusting, since she used sugar instead of salt, and he stomps on them and has her thrown out. When he leaves, Luffy goes up to Zoro and asks him to join the crew. Zoro rejects the offer and refuses to be freed from his bindings since he plans on surviving just to spite Helmeppo. He then eats the flattened rice balls. Luffy and Koby then meet with Rika in the town, and Luffy mentions how Zoro loved the rice balls. Luffy asks if Zoro actually is evil, but Rika replies that he is really a good guy. One day, Helmeppo brought a vicious wolf into the town bar, but Zoro knocked it out to protect everyone inside. He then knocked down Helmeppo, but Helmeppo convinced Zoro to have himself arrested in exchange for the people in the bar not being executed. Luffy, Koby, and Rika walk into a restaurant and find Helmeppo talking about how he's going to execute Zoro the next day. Luffy, furious at Helmeppo's dishonesty, punches him, and Helmeppo runs off to complain to his father. Captain Morgan, at that time, is having a statue of himself erected on top of the marine base, and he punches his son and calls him worthless after Helmeppo tells him what happened. Luffy, meanwhile, goes to untie Zoro, but Zoro mentions how his swords were taken away. Luffy says he will go get them, so he uses Gamu Gamu no rocket to launch himself up to the roof of the marine base. In doing so, he knocks over the statue and causes it to break. Morgan orders that Luffy be executed, so Luffy grabs Helmeppo and runs into the base, searching for Zoro's swords. Outside, Koby is trying to untie Zoro and explains the situation to him. All the while, Nami is sneaking around the marine base. Luffy drags Helmeppo into Helmeppo's room, where the swords are. Meanwhile, Captain Morgan and his soldiers surround Zoro and Koby, and Morgan orders that they are both executed. The soldiers hold up their rifles and open fire, and Zoro thinks how he cannot die and remembers Kuina. However, before the bullets can reach them, Luffy leaps from the marine base and uses his rubber body to block the bullets and send them flying. When Zoro is shocked and asks who he is, Luffy responds that he is Monkey D. Luffy, and that he will become the Pirate King. And that's how the second episode of One Piece ends. Stay tuned and subscribe for next episode of One Piece. Make sure to drop a like and comment down your best moment in this episode.